Welcome to another conversation with the Brothers of Two Complex. We appreciate y'all for clicking on this video. But before we get into the content, make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the bangers that we drop every single week. We appreciate the support. Enjoy the video.
This is where I feel like the power is held. All right. So last week, the Los Angeles Lakers, they fired or parted ways with head coach Darvin Ham after their first round loss to the Denver Nuggets. This move drew criticism, and ultimately sparked a conversation about LeBron James and his position in the GOAT debate. Sticks, do you think, how do I want to word this? Why do you think everything imaginable out there that's negative is to I can't talk today for whatever reason. We might want to redo this podcast, bro. Good gracious.
You good, brother. You good, brother.
Why do you think they're trying to use everything imaginable to discredit Bron's greatness and ultimately his position in the GOAT debate?
LeBron James is the most underappreciated, most hated superstar I have ever seen. I don't think there is anybody who I can name in my lifetime who has never been on any allegations. Well, he's on allegations, but has never tested positive for PEDs, has never, allegedly has never cheated on Savannah, has never done anything. He's always been there for the kids, doing good things in the community, always showing up whenever it's time for him to be on that basketball court. Has no tarnish on his name. And yet and still, people still feel like he is not what he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, they still try to bring this man down. He is the epitome of the saying, damned if you do, damned if you don't. He is the epitome of that saying, for real. And the whole thing about the coaches getting fired, and I feel like all of this started with the decision, honestly. All of the hate came with that. But even before that even happened, the players in the league was like, we don't need LeBron. We don't need him. You know what I'm saying? The people on the Cavaliers team was like, why would they bring him in? We don't need him. We got two people in his position already. Why do we need LeBron? It's like he is the most underappreciated player in sports history, I feel like. And to the coaching thing, I saw a report. Brian Windhorst went on the what podcast did he go on? Dan Patrick. He went on the Dan Patrick show, and he ended up saying, Wendy has been, reporting LeBron since LeBron was at St. Vincent St. Mary's,
right?
And he has been the LeBron journalist for 21 years now, probably longer than that, but. He went on the Dan Patrick show and said LeBron tries to stay as far away from the coaching hiring decision as possible. Like he whenever he lets the front office do all of those things, and he says LeBron doesn't get involved in coaching hires. For years, for many, many coaches, he's always taken a distance. In fact, I can't say this for every candidate, but he has a rule generally that he won't engage with the candidate. After the coach is hired, of course, he'll have a conversation with the coach, but generally he wants to stay out of it. He doesn't want it on his hands. That's what Brian Windhorst said. Do I believe he has a little bit more influence on who coaches him? 100%. I think he has a little bit more influence than that. But I do agree with what Wendy said, is that ain't his job. His job is to be a leader of men on the court. He ain't got nothing to do with what's on the sideline and what's in the office. You know what I'm saying? But the office is going to come to him as their superstar and say, hey, this is what we're thinking about doing. And he might say, yeah, he might say, okay, cool. He might, do what y'all do. But I don't think LeBron has as much influence on the coaches as everybody makes it seem. But now we get into a situation where Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, and other people in the media are saying that reason why Mike Wilbon is going off on LeBron James, saying that now he out of the GOAT debate because of how many coaches he's gotten fired. Like, he has that power for real. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me how this man is the most hated superstar in sports history. It don't make no sense, bro.
You did say 2 weeks ago that Bron had a lot of power, and we know he does.
Oh yeah, he does. 100%.
We're not going to act like
know that.
he does not. Yeah, we're not going to act like he does not. But and I apologize for cutting you off, but this is ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it is.
We just again moving the goalposts for what actually makes somebody the GOAT.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, which is why I've continued to say we need to set parameters for what gets you in the GOAT conversation automatically. Like, you do this, you're automatically in the GOAT conversation. And then after that, whatever you do positive, unless you do something drastically negative, it can only help your GOAT conversation. It can't really hurt. Mm-hmm. But once you hit these parameters, you're in the GOAT conversation. But right now, it's all on opinion and emotion, and that's the GOAT conversation. But like I said, coming into this segment, I think this is where the power of the media and journalists, this is where we need to kind of rein it back in a little bit. But it's there now. I don't think it's anything that we'll be able to do. But the narrative spinning and the narrative creating is where their power really begins to show, and is reflected in the thought processes of many individuals within the sports community. Because, like we mentioned before, this was brought up, nobody ever thought about, the number of coaches that somebody has can determine if they're the greatest of all time. What? Like, really? Because LeBron, who historically throughout his career has played for either first-time coaches or very small tenured coaches in his career, and all of them, other than his first 3 years in the league and then his first 2 years with the Lakers, all of them have gone to the Western Conference Finals, or at least the Western Conference Finals or the Finals. Mm-hmm. So, like, we're saying he's played for multiple coaches, but all of them, for the most part, have been winners. And we know that when LeBron James is on your team, it's championship or bust, or you're expected to be playing for championships. And when you don't, if LeBron has been playing how he's played throughout his career, other than the 2011 finals, then you're pretty much going to be set. Like with the Miami Heat, I believe it was, they tried to spin this narrative, or they said that LeBron tried to get rid of Spo, but Pat Riley put his foot down, was like, oh no, Spo is staying here. Well, now we're seeing how good of a coach Spoelstra is, because he's been to the finals without LeBron. He's been in multiple conference finals without LeBron, D Wade, and company in Miami. I think Mike Dave, what's the coach's name? Mike Davis?
Mike Brown. Yeah,
there you go. Thank you. Mike Brown, who was the coach for Cleveland before LeBron left and went to Miami. He's now having success, or in the process of turning around the Sacramento organization, right? He had you're talking about Mike Brown is. Okay, I was thinking Mike Brown. Yeah, Mike Brown is with Sacramento. So I mean, I'm saying all this to say is, like, if you're a good coach, you will continue to be a good coach, right? LeBron has played with young coaches who don't have the notoriety of a Phil Jackson, who coached both Michael and Kobe, or a Pat Riley or whatnot. So for those great individuals that had coaches that had tenure because of their name, dang, I just seen him a couple weeks ago too. The San Antonio coach. Well, I can't think today. My brain is.
Mike Brown is San Antonio coach right now.
No, San Antonio.
You talking about Pop, Coach Pop.
Because of who he is, he ain't had a lot of success in the last 5 years, I want to say. But he's still
since that big three retired, yeah,
exactly. He's still the coach of the Spurs because of his name, and like, it don't matter who you have on the team. It's going, if you have established yourself as a coach, they're going to keep you around, and until it just goes awry and you just can't do anything with it. But when you have LeBron on the team, we know it's championship or bust. And when you get knocked out in the first round, we got to make some changes, because we're not going to get rid of LeBron. He make too much money.
Made too much money. He's too good of a damn player. Shit.
He's too good of a player. He puts butts in the seats, whether they like him or not. You're a casualty of war. So the narrative that was spun was he needs to take accountability for this. And
why? Why is LeBron held accountable for a coach getting fired? Like that don't make. It's one of those things where I feel like people just thinking that people in the sports community or people in the world just think if you can't win with LeBron, you ain't no good coach. So you got to go. Because LeBron in his 21-year career has only missed the playoffs 4 times. His first 2 years in the league, 18-19 whenever he first got to the Lakers, and then 21-22 whenever he and with the Lakers as well. Those are only 4 years that he's missed the playoffs. He's been to 8 straight finals, and 17 out of the 21 years he's been to the playoffs.
Right.
So like that's what people think. Like, damn, LeBron has been a staple in the playoffs and the finals for his whole career, and now we got coaches that can't win with him. That's why he got to go. But why does that fall on that fall? I guess that falls on LeBron's shoulder because of who he is. But he ain't got no say in who get hired or who get fired. Like,
well, I think so. And it's going to seem like I'm defending the reporters, and I'm really not. But I think the issue is that LeBron is so passive aggressive with stuff that he does, or like
very
sends
much agree.
cryptic tweets or cryptic IG posts about how he feels about certain situations, or his quote unquote goons will say stuff in the media to get the net. So so now let's get to that too, and why I ultimately think this is an issue for these OGs in the journalistic game, because now he has a podcast and he has say in what the narrative can be and can't be for him, and so it combats what they feel. And a lot of them have issue with these athletes being in the podcast space and having their voice and their narrative anyway, but it combats what they're able to spin, because now the people that are actually in the trenches playing are saying what's going on, and the people that have been spectating and reporting on it for so long, now what they say is second fiddle to what this person says, because I'm going to go to LeBron first to see what he says, and then I'm coming back to you and see what you say. And so they have an issue with that. And I mean, Stephen A has said multiple times on his podcast, on First Take, on wherever he can say it, that he thinks LeBron he doesn't understand why LeBron is in the podcast space. Now you want to talk about basketball. Now you want to teach the game of basketball. So like, bro, why you got an issue with LeBron having a podcast, but you don't have an issue with Draymond having a podcast? You don't have an issue with Paul George having a podcast. You know what I mean?
Michael Porter Jr. got a podcast. Like, why we not talking about these guys? We got Patrick Beverly got a podcast. Like a lot of well, he ain't in the league no more, but Jeff T got a podcast. Like everybody got podcasts now. You know what I'm saying? Let's talking sports and talk about their experiences, and why LeBron the only one that can't talk about sports now. Or why he can't be a journalist, because he's still, well, shoot, most people that we name still playing. So what are we talking about?
Exactly.
But it's so stupid. It's such a stupid narrative that they're trying to spin about LeBron, bro. Because it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. You know what I'm saying? And it's just annoying, bro. It's just annoying. I had something I wanted to say, but it escaped my mind.
My bad. I was talking too long.
No, you good. You good.
But yeah, I mean, it's for me. I hate that the goalpost continues to get moved, because, and I've been on record in saying that LeBron is 1A, 1B. I can't put him. In my mind, I can't put him above Jordan, but he is definitely on par with
I've
Jordan.
already done it.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, and
I've already done it. And that's y'all see this in my background every week. Y'all see that right there.
Jordan behind you too, though.
I do, because they both go and a cultural icon. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's my thing, though. If you don't like LeBron, you just don't like LeBron. Nothing he can do can say he make you think he's the GOAT. But stop trying to come up with these different narratives or these different aspects of the game or whatever he is dealt with to discredit him from being in the GOAT conversation. Because we like to say oh, well, Bron can't be the GOAT because of this, or because he's moved from team to team to team. Okay. Do we forget that Kobe tried to force his way out of the Lakers until they brought him somebody else on the team? He wasn't getting that in Cleveland. Bron was not getting that in Cleveland. Like, they were trying to bring people to the Cavs, but who wants to play? Like Joe Kim Noah said, y'all really like Cleveland? Like, what's it to do here? It ain't that great. Like, it's Cleveland. Like, no offense to Cleveland. I got some friends.
Probably the same thing with Minnesota.
Exactly. But see, when you can build a team through trades and whatnot, as Minnesota has done, they've been playing well, then your franchise will go up. But Cleveland, for whatever reason, that franchise until recently, they just couldn't get it together. Like, they couldn't put the pieces together around Bron that got them over the hump. And so until he left and came back when they had draft picks and whatnot, that's when they got it together.
Other than they tried to make a big three with Kyrie and Kevin Love, but it was a lot after them. Both of them ended after Kyrie left. They still had man. I won't say the team was trash though. It wasn't trash. It wasn't as bad as it was when he was in Cleveland the first time. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, yeah.
He was able to take those teams to the finals, and everybody gonna say, well, the East was weak. Okay, the East was weak. If you want to stick with that argument, all well and fine. But every team he's left has been drastically different from when he was there.
100%.
So they were going to the playoffs. They were no longer part of the playoffs when he left. Cleveland, Miami remains to be seen.
Cleveland
with
again.
LA. I doubt LA will be in that situation because it's LA. I guess you could say the same thing about Miami too. But
yeah.
But
I know what it was. What I wanted to say. I want to see, because I watched the last episode of Mind the Game. I want to see this week if LeBron actually, if JJ Redick asks him that question and LeBron actually addresses, bruh, like, what are they talking about with these coaches, bruh? I want to see if he actually said. I don't think he will. I don't think they'll bring that out. But I want to see if he says something, because I'll watch it every week. You hope they don't?
I was gonna say I hope the Lakers don't hire JJ Redick. I want JJ Redick.
I don't think they should either.
Yeah, I hope they don't, because then that
should not be his first coaching job. That should not be his first coaching job. And then, like you said, it also feeds into the narrative that LeBron and JJ are best friends and they got this podcast together. It definitely feeds into the narrative, but leave Bron alone, bro. Like, please, just let this man thrive, dog. Like, it makes everybody sound so dumb whenever they come up with something new every single week or every single month to make it seem like LeBron ain't the greatness that he is, bro. Just shut the fuck up. Just like I said about the whole gender gap, wage gap. Y'all just shut the hell up. Just shut up. It gets annoying, bro. Like, and not that I low key am a LeBron stan, if you want to say it that way, but at the same time, it's like he's done everything to prove y'all wrong. He statistically, he's the greatest player to ever play. Y'all said the East was weak. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go to the West, win a championship. You know what I'm saying? Everything that they hate on LeBron for, damn if you do, damn if you don't. He's the epitome of that statement. I swear to God, he is.